Hello Cancer and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. This is your weekly reading and the image I get for you is like you're torn away from something that you've been focusing on and you've been pulled somewhere else to a new focus. It's like I was looking at this and suddenly I'm over here looking at this. Sorry, I just banged the microphone. And then it's like you're torn between the two. Do I want to go that way and still be in the old energy, or do I want to be pulled in this new direction, which I wasn't expecting to be pulled into? And then it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like I'm being pulled and stretched in two different directions here. So let's see what else is coming through with this Cancer and see if we can kind of get some more information, and we might see if there's something that's coming through with working with this energy. There's too many cards there. So it kind of has an element of confusion, a lack of direction or focus, or it's very Neptunian that's coming in. The path is not clear. It's like the Two of Swords. It's like I can see one side, I can see the other side, I can see both sides, I can see both paths. I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know what the right direction is. So yeah, it's interesting, and it's kind of like I feel like you got dragged one way, which is you weren't expecting. So we've got the Emperor. This is kind of funny. Focus and stability. So these are possibly the things that you're going to be looking for this week. Focus and stability. Because I feel like the image I got was the opposite of that. But that doesn't actually mean you can't attain it. When the Emperor comes in, it's saying you can. And there may actually be somebody that is coming in that will help you with that. It may be that the Emperor is like a boss energy. So it's either you're dealing a lot with people in authority or you're bossing up. And this could be like quite literally a boss throws something at you and suddenly you're like, I've got to do this other job. And you're pulled in two different directions. We've got Wand, Queen, Aries, Throne. A lot of Aries coming in here for you because the Emperor is also an Aries card. So, and in this particular deck, the Wand Queen is an Aries energy and we see Mars and the Sun there. So this is where there's this shift to a new focus, I would say, but there's a part of you that kind of hasn't quite accepted it. The fact that Mars is there pointing at the Sun is very, very clear. It's showing you what direction, what needs to be activated here. And so, yeah, I feel like it's potentially not the direction you were initially thinking that something was heading in, or heading down. So let's see what else is coming through here. But it feels busy. It feels very direct. It's very much this is what I want and this is where we're going and this is how we're going to do it. And I feel like it kind of feels like directions are being given to you. Like I don't feel like this is necessarily you, Cancer. I feel like somebody's giving you directions, whether it is a message from your intuition and soul and spirit, or whether this is quite literally somebody in your life. I just feel like it's like you're feeling pulled, like you're not in charge of this. But whenever the Emperor comes in, it shows you where you can be in charge, where you can boss up. So the Page of Cups, yeah, something surprising comes through. And then the Three of Wands, this is the young Emperor here going, yes, I've thrown something at you and now I want the results. It's very results driven. I feel like there's pressure with this actually. The King of Swords. So this could definitely be a sense of, this is again, the King of Swords is I'm waiting. I'm waiting. And it's like, here you are, the Chariot. You're like, okay, something's been thrown at me this week and I'm going to just this is the card of Cancer, the Chariot. I'm going to pull all my resources and strength together to make this work, make this successful. And then we've got the Six of Swords. Fantastic. So you're able to move on from it. You're able to complete it. You're able to find a sense of peace, which is actually really nice. And so then we've got the Eight of Swords, which is, it's a funny energy of feeling like you're kind of able to complete something and move on, but it feels like very restricted because it does feel like somebody's making you do something that you potentially weren't seeing or didn't want to do. It's like I had this on my plate this week and someone's just come in left field and gone, okay, no, we need to do this instead. And that other thing gets put on the back burner and it's like, okay. Interesting. So the Eight of Swords does represent limitations, or quite literally when the Eight of Swords comes in with the Page of Cups, this is like surprise, you didn't see this coming. You can see they've got the blindfolds on. You didn't see this coming. Now, interestingly, like, this is not necessarily all like this Three of Wands could be you. This could be you going, all right, there's some things I need to focus on. I need to put some things out there and I want some good results. And you could be the King of Swords. All of these energies always mirror back what's going on inside of you. The King of Swords is very Aquarian. It's very detached. It's very logical. It's like creating a strategy and a plan to take on whatever is needed to get the best result out of what's this surprise energy that's come at you this week. And then here you are, the Chariot card going, yep, this is me. I'm strong. I'm strong. I'm driving this home to success. Throw anything at me, I'll take it on. I can do it. I can deal with it. So you can deal with anything that gets thrown at you this week. And then the Six of Swords is finding the peace at the end of the day. Maybe at the end of the week, it might be a great week to actually book a go away for the weekend or go away at some point, just to kind of get away from it, because I feel like there's a lot of demands on your time, a lot of work coming in. And this, if you're feeling like you're in control of this and you're bossing up, this is actually not a bad thing. You might have actually changed your mind and gone, right, I'm going in this direction instead, and you've reshifted your focus. So it might just take a little while for you to accept that you've changed your mind. But once you do, the Six of Swords is making a big move. It's moving on, and quite literally can be like moving home next to the Chariot for some of you, making decisions around where you're living, decisions to move. The move could be anything that in your life, moving home, moving house, moving jobs, or just moving on from moving on from this old energy of feeling with the Eight of Swords could be feeling in a very restricted space or having to deal with limited forms of thinking. So it could quite literally be that, and I feel like what's happening, no matter how this is mirrored back to you, that this is a sense of the universe is saying, not that way, this way. And so that way was you as the Eight of Swords, where you're feeling really restricted, and this way is the way where you're going to find peace. So, yeah, interesting. There's a real shift of direction happening here, very direct. You're going to get this message loud and clear. And the Aries energy is just like full steam ahead. Boom, this is what we're doing. Okay, so as like an animal energy, you've got the moth, which is the element of air. And the moth travels through the darkness up to the light. So it's saying the light is there. This is where you're heading, to the light, to peace, which is actually really nice. But it's saying it's there, these higher realms, this peace, this energy, that this higher spiritual energy, or even, soul and spirit are there saying we're helping you through the darkness, through the challenge that you're kind of going through. But it feels like there's a lot of success with this. Like all of these are very, very driven and successful energies. So it's like if you're setting a goal for yourself, or it's like you've kind of, climbing a mountain, whatever it is that you're trying to kind of achieve at this moment in time, it's not easy, but I feel like you're doing it. You're doing it, and you're doing it really well, and overcoming a lot of things and being very successful with it. So the moth energy is saying it's only short-lived, the most intense energy around this, which is actually really good. And yeah, the light is there. Travel up to the light if you feel it, and that will help you through those periods of darkness, which is really nice. And we've also got here, just before I go, like the Chariot, which has got the black and white Sphinx. So the black and white energy is really important because that reminds me of Pluto, which is very black and white. It's like things are black, things are white. It's either in, it's out. This is the truth. This is not the truth. I'm showing you this, and then you're transforming it. And what the moth actually represents, because the Sphinx is talk in riddles, and it's like suddenly something from the underworld or something that was triggered in the shadows, in the shadow world, has made sense because it didn't make sense before, but through your sheer sense of, I need to make this make sense. And then the moth energy is the heart. The way to move into the light from the darkness is to put any kind of trauma, crisis, anything that's been stirred up in that shadow world deep down. The green represents your heart. It represents compassion. It represents love. Travel up through that by putting those energies into your heart, giving them compassion, and then that's where by connecting to your heart chakra, that's where you can travel up to the light. So, yeah, it's interesting energy. Like there's a lot of different layers to this, Cancer, but you've come in strong because your major arcana has come in here. I do think with the Chariot and the Six of Swords it's going to be really important to make sure after a really intense day of having challenges that you have a place to come back to that feels like it's a safe little peaceful haven. That's another important thing that's coming through with this. But yeah, you are going to be challenged, but it's very successful energy coming in. So that is the message for the week. There may be a lot of decisions to be made. There may be a lot of discussions with people. With that King of Swords often can represent meetings with people. But I feel like you're meeting the challenge, which is actually really great, and making any necessary decisions, whether no matter how tough they are, you're overcoming these limitations of the Eight of Swords. So, yeah, that's it. I think you're going to feel quite strong, actually, at the end of this, or throughout the process, you're really drawing on your reserves of strength. And so that's it, Cancer. Thanks so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment, and look forward to seeing you next time.